Welcome to another episode of Ask MA the podcast. If you want to be part of the show, let's say you have some stories, questions, or if you need some advice, send me a message on my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at MABuendiaHD and I will give you a call. Alright, guys, we have a guest on the line. He is Ken37 from Baguio. Hi, Ken. Welcome to the program. And what do you want to talk about?
Hello, MA. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. So, yeah, what's up?
Right. So I've been working for my company for quite a long time already, about 9 years. But even prior to that, from a very early age, I was already independent. I moved out of the house when I was, I think, 19, and then moved to another country to pursue a career in entertainment. So I've been working for television on and off for like the longest time.
Okay.
And then maybe a few years after that, I got into the corporate world. With this pandemic, no, when I moved back to Baguio, there were two things that were clear to me. One was I wanted to be as close to my mom as possible,
Mm-hmm.
and the second is I wanted to attain that sense of calmness that we long for when we're busy doing the things, pursuing the things that we've been wanting to do for a very long time. So I think the pandemic has helped me zone in on what I really, really wanted and how I'm gonna do it. And one of the things that I did was really to move back home. I haven't been home for about 15 years, and it really forces you to be alone with your thoughts for a very, very long time. And nagkaroon ako ng parang very small hydroponics garden. I started going to TikTok videos, like all these things that where I was trying to channel my energy and
Yes.
nothing fit. Parang kumbaga, like it was fun for the moment, but at one point nothing, parang hindi mo nakukuha yung sense of fulfillment mo doon. And it adds to the anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Do you meditate
I
by any
don't.
chance?
I used to have yoga
Right.
sessions before in the gym, but I think it's different from meditating. Is it?
So like with yoga kasi parang you're contending with the poses while you're trying to keep your breathing and
Right.
everything and all of that, diba? And like it's funny kasi your yoga teacher will tell you, oh, just focus on your breathing, focus on your thoughts, but you can't because you're physically in pain at one point,
Yeah,
and you're like,
sweating.
what am I like, right? And the reason why I'm telling you this is because like meditation has helped me ngayon in the COVID situation. There's really no one to rant with or to pour your heart out to
Yeah.
in a physical sense. So in the morning, I usually spend about 10 minutes just getting ready for my day. The first thing that you do is you practice compassion. How do you perceive compassion, MA?
For me, compassion is like showing empathy, like putting yourself in their shoes. How would you feel if you were
Perfect.
in their situation? So,
So compassion is exactly that, and it really is a precursor to love. So the first thing that you do is have compassion for yourself, right?
mm-hmm.
So think of it as a white light, and then basically let this white light parang envelope your body, and then envelope your room, and then envelope your house. So
Mm-hmm.
what this does is that yung visualization of the fact that you're starting from what you have, your purest form of love, purest form of compassion, and then extending this to a universal energy. That's the first thing that you do. That's compassion, right?
Okay.
It may take a while also for you to do that, but the key thing here is like if you spend 1 minute or 2 minutes just visualizing that cycle or that process, then you're done with step one. Step two is just being grateful. So usually ang ginagawa ko for being grateful is that I usually think of three things.
Okay.
What am I thankful for from the perspective of work? What I'm thankful for the from the perspective of myself, like my life, and then what I'm thankful for the day or for the week or whatever it is. So like three things that you're thankful for, and you're done with step two,
Mm-hmm.
right? The third step is a hard step, which is forgiveness. Usually for this particular step, I think of one person that may have done something to me in the past
Mm-hmm.
that I have not kind of processed. And it could be yourself also. Maybe there were things that you can't forgive yourself for. But what you're trying to do here is you're trying to put yourself in a situation where you're actually letting go of those parang residual energies
Yeah.
that will allow you to release yourself from that. It's not for them, it's for you.
Yeah.
So it's really true forgiveness. It's being able to say to that person or to that younger self na parang this has been really, really difficult. It was a very emotional time. But thank you for giving me that experience. So that's step 3. So yung first 3 steps na yun is really you. Step 4, 5, 6 is really you internally. The fourth step is being able to think of your day, right? Think of how, usually what I do is, meron akong parang series of self-affirmations, kumbaga.
Mhm.
You imagine your ideal day. So for example, if you have a presentation for today and you're dreading that or may sort of anxiety ka doon, parang you imagine that presentation to go perfectly. You're
Okay.
answering questions. You're very articulate. You're very present. You're very focused, di ba?
Mhm.
The fifth one, what are the things that you want to achieve for your life? So whether kung anong goal yan, whether that's love, whether that's setting up a business, whether that's like a career progression, think of those big steps as your fifth step. And step 6 is a little bit iffy for a few people. Maybe even for you, because I've known you for a while. This is really calling for a higher power
Okay.
to help you out throughout that entire process. So whether you believe in the energy of the universe, if
Yeah.
you believe in God, parang you're completing that entire cycle of 1, putting your energy out throughout the world, and then 2, putting that energy so that you're more productive throughout the day. And that entire process takes about 10 minutes for me.
Okay. And how long have you
Right
been
at the
doing
beginning of
this?
my day. I've been doing this for about 3 months already. It has helped me so much just dealing with my emotions. And for a lot of people who are going through, self-doubt and anxiety and
Yeah,
stress,
we are.
one way to center yourself is to be able to look for the possibilities of a better future for you, the
Mhm.
possibilities of a better day, the possibilities of a better career, better decisions, better partners, better opportunities, challenges. Para hindi tayo vulnerable sa negative thoughts, ganon.
Mhm.
I think it's important for us to start our day with that kind of discipline, and then at the end of your day, to do the same. So if you've had issues with sleep, this is the best way to get the best sleep is through meditation.
What's the ideal environment for that? I mean, do you have to play some music or I mean incense sa CR? Sa mas
Mm-hmm.
magandang ginagawa yan normally kasi
Right.
'di ba minsan may mga tao na for other
The,
people it's not really doable.
it's not necessarily the space, but you find the time because you can
Okay.
do meditation anywhere. Actually, you can meditate through a cab ride, which I do sometimes. You can meditate at a Starbucks.
Mhm.
You can meditate. You can meditate anywhere, but the key thing there is you will find time to do it, because as with anything, it's almost like muscle memory, conditioning your entire body to, instead of releasing stress hormones throughout the day because you're so anxious,
Yeah.
you feel terrible, you're so stressed, you calm yourself down. If you can do that, like go to a park or whatever it is, that's perfect. But it can be as simple as just doing it in your room, um,
Yeah.
playing some music, and then just having those dedicated 10 minutes for yourself. So, yeah,
You know what? I've never been to Baguio. Like, a lot of people are surprised
no
whenever
way.
I say that. Kasi di ba parang I've been around and then, ewan ko, for some reason, parang lagi siyang napuput on hold. How many hours ba yung travel time from Manila to Baguio?
Right, it used to be longer. Parang umabot yan ng 6-7 hours.
Sabi nga
But
nila.
right now, ideally, you can do it for about 3 to 4 hours na lang.
Okay.
However, due to COVID, the
Yeah,
process
oo
is
nga
a
eh.
little bit longer because there are checkpoints, and then parang meron kang mga tests na kailangan
Mm.
gawin when you arrive. And
My
right now in
God.
September, they're easing it off for tourists. However, for anyone who wants to travel to Baguio, at the moment kasi parang you get the, like, the cold breeze and all of that, pero really it's not practical to go here with all of the with the hassle of having
Right.
to get all your paperwork done. It's not the best time, especially kung family ka, because right now may mandatory tests na, and it's you have to shoulder that. The good thing about being in Baguio is that I'm happier because I get to see my mom every day, and at the same time, parang like there's a possibility of me being able to set up a business here.
Yeah.
That
Are you planning to quit the corporate world and then just stay there for good or
so I've been thinking about it. That's definitely a possibility. I've been working with my company for about 10 years na. So kumbaga, I've already ticked off a lot of the boxes there. And then right now, because I know now what I want, and therefore I'm aligning myself to a life where I can probably attain more peace, more calm. These are the things that I've been longing for a very long time, and I think I've proven enough sa corporate world. So right now I'm there. Nandun ako sa crossroad of being able to make those decisions. But I do understand na not a lot of people would have that kind of opportunity also. So just take it one step at a time.
not just
Mhm.
opportunity, I guess, but more on the right mindset? Because it's a very important decision.
Right.
Sometimes quitting a job or starting a business, it's life changing, and for overthinkers or
Right.
probably someone like me, ako kasi
Yes.
I'm not really a pessimist, but more on a
Mm-hmm.
realist. So sometimes, so sinabi mo nga kanina, di ba,
Right.
whenever you're planning, so you always think about the positive outcomes, parang you're
Mm-hmm.
thinking about the good things that could happen. But for people like
Right.
me, sometimes ako, whenever I'm about to start something, I'm already thinking about the downfall. Like, parang,
Right. Mm-hmm.
what's the worst that could go wrong? So I'm preparing myself
Right.
already to fail. And then sometimes it works to my advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it just doesn't benefit at all. I start to procrastinate. I start to doubt myself. And then I end up not doing it
Right.
anymore.
Sometimes you start making excuses also, right?
Mm-mm.
And that's a survival mechanism. We're naturally wired to be that way.
Yeah,
Because what
protective.
what
Yeah.
usually happens to the brain, what usually happens to the brain is that, oh, there's a situation I'm not familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain will always tell you the 100 things that could happen because they don't want you to go through that entire process. Kasi nga, we're operating from that fear, right?
Yeah.
I've done that for a while. Sigurista ako eh. And
Yeah.
me,
Oo.
I'm probably the same as you because there were days when I was starting off my career in the entertainment industry where ang kinakain ko lang kamote.
Mm-hmm.
So every day it's the cheapest, it's the most accessible at that time, and it was the only thing that I could afford. And because of my pride, I didn't ask for help. When I got into a corporate jobs, like yung mga writing jobs, when I was an extra for a movie, when I was doing singing, I did all of that already.
Mm-hmm.
Na at one point I was like, I'm never going back to that time where I was
Yeah.
only eating kamote. Nagiging default ko yon. When you're thinking of like, oh, I'm gonna start a business, your brain will say, what if
Mm-mm.
people don't support you? What if
Correct.
it fails? What if my emergency? Like, all these terrible things will start popping up. And people think that I have everything together. Like, on most days, I'm usually lost with my thoughts, and I'm really trying to calibrate what is the next best move. The fact that we're all in this situation, you get to reassess what is really important in your life. And if you're a family person, if you're career driven, however you've operated in like throughout your entire life, this is the perfect time to either continue doing that, which is great, or going back to pursuing your passions, learning that second language, planting a garden, eating healthier, working out. It's the perfect time to reinvent yourself because time now matters. Our dreams matter now. They're no longer dreams anymore because
Yeah.
tomorrow may not happen. So, siguro that's probably where I'm coming from. I guess going back to that meditation piece, ginawa ko siya, it's to quiet my mind. Na parang, hey, like, you're telling me all these terrible things pala. Pero what if I succeed? What if my cafe, when GCQ opens, all of a sudden is a hit? What if
Yeah.
people start talking about it on social media positively and I'm starting to get all these customers? What if I exceed my income more than what I'm earning now? Like, now I'm thinking about it positively. You can also be a realist kasi pwede mo namang i-reassess yan after 3 months if it's not working. Then you can do it. But the fact that if it's stopping you from starting,
That's a
that's where
problem,
it's
right?
damaging
Yeah,
because
exactly.
yeah, you don't want to be 60 regretting all of your decisions, diba? So,
Perfect. Yeah.
siguro, like, yeah, for the people who are listening, you're probably thinking of quitting your job because there are things that you parang want to pursue. And don't get me wrong, like a job is a security blanket, but it can make or break you also. It's good in order for you to use money as a tool to get to where you want to be, right? So those things would need to be clear. And how do you make those things clear is to be able to be alone with your thoughts and zero in on what's really, really important to you and then operate from there.
Right.
So yeah, that's where I am right now with this state of calmness and happiness, I guess.
I'm very happy for you, and I've learned so much. I think you should do a podcast. Given the wisdom that you shared today.
Well, thank you. Kasi, I've been wanting to have a podcast for a very long time. So I'll probably definitely talk to you after
Yeah,
this.
exactly. I hope to talk to you again soon regarding a different topic because it's such a delight. Thank you so
Nice.
much for sharing your story and sharing your wisdom with us today.
Thank you for inviting me, and yeah, looking forward to that next episode.
You
Thank
take
you,
care. Be well, Ken. Bye bye. Okay, guys, so that has been Ask MA the podcast. Thank you so much for being with us. And again, if you want to be part of the show, go ahead and share your stories, ask me some questions or advice. Just message me on my Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at MABuendiaHD and I'll give you a call. I love you for listening and let's talk next time. Bye!